Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Taylor. I got a new microphone, and today we are reading from r/Am I Overreacting? Our first story is from Deleted. Am I overreacting for confronting my husband's work wife? I hate the term work wife and work husband. It's like so demeaning, especially if you're in a relationship. If you're both single, then I don't know, maybe it's kind of funny, maybe a little cringe, but especially when they have a partner, what are you doing? My husband had a married coworker who regularly called herself his work wife. After reading their messages, I felt like their relationship had crossed emotional boundaries, even if it wasn't physical. Some examples. She sent him random pictures of her toes, foot, her bed, and herself in a nightgown? All right, pack it up, everyone. This is too far. We just started reading the story, and yeah, it just feels like cheating to me if the husband of this person didn't shut that down immediately. Next, she asked him to help her get a bikini body, even though he's not a trainer. Yet another one that's like, if the husband's not shutting that down, that's... Ugh. She texted him about things like, having a big girl poop? That's nasty. What? That's nasty. Panic attacks. Okay, we got two very different things there. Medications, blood work, being sick. Okay, I don't know why I reacted that way to being sick. That was like the only normal one out of this thing. And other health issues, as if he were her personal nurse or therapist. I guess that's why they call it work wife and work husband, because she's literally treating him like, yeah, this is not how you text your coworkers or your friends. This is something you message your partner with. Usually it's usually how that goes. That's just nasty. She constantly asked him for help with everyday things around her house that she could have asked her own husband or Googled. She was hurt whenever he didn't work with her or didn't respond the way she wanted. She called herself his work wife, joked, "Oops, wrong husband." And they even joked about being a work family. Eventually, my husband realized the friendship had become too personal. Whoa, you don't say. And he started setting boundaries. Took him long enough. She became upset, said he was disrespecting her, and eventually quit after saying she felt hurt and underappreciated. Okay, I don't know if they're meaning she quit the job or quit texting him. I'm not sure on that one. I sent her a message explaining why I believed she had crossed emotional boundaries and disrespected our marriage. I told her that while my husband wasn't perfect and participated in the friendship, becoming emotionally dependent on another woman's husband was not appropriate. My husband agrees the friendship went too far and chose to step back. I'm glad he finally figured that out, but you should have figured that out pretty early on, man. Am I overreacting for confronting her, or would most married people also see these behaviors as crossing the line? And is that behavior accepted in American culture? Okay, I don't know about many other cultures, but I'd wager to bet that this behavior probably isn't acceptable in most cultures. And now one of these comments really sums up exactly what I was thinking. Your husband let this get out of hand. He should have set firm boundaries to begin with, but you stepping in makes it look like he's only doing it now because of you. My personal thought was he should have set those boundaries early on, and it does kind of feel like he only stopped because his wife wasn't okay with it. And yeah, the guy's got no spine. Feels like he would cheat on her if he hasn't already. At the drop of a hat, if he got the chance, I don't know. Or maybe he was just slowly building up to that point, trying to build up the courage, you know? But yeah, that was a pretty wild first story, especially that one part. Let's get on to the next story. Our next story is from Void in Velvet. Am I overreacting, or is this intimidation? My boyfriend and I were having dinner when I made a completely casual comment. He suddenly got irritated and told me to stop because I was making him angry. I immediately backed off and even said, "Oh, I shouldn't have said it. I wasn't raising my voice or arguing, just annoyed." Out of nowhere, he looked at me with an intense expression and said, "Don't create a scene here, or I'll throw this plate in front of everyone and leave." I was stunned because I hadn't been creating a scene at all. After dinner, he started driving aggressively when I calmly told him I don't like the way he treats me in public. Fair. He started yelling at me at the top of his lungs and blamed me for everything. He later apologized and said, "I'm just angry. I didn't mean any of that." The shouting and aggressive driving have happened before, but this was the first time he outright threatened and intimidated me. I have asked for space. I can't stop thinking about it. I have stopped speaking to him. Good. Am I overreacting for feeling like this crossed a line and questioning the relationship? No. You are not overreacting. Run as far as you can. This guy's violent. He's going to hurt you. Like, obviously, he's already hurt you emotionally and probably in other ways, but like, he's going to start getting physical. Like, I promise you. Guys that act like this, nope. Stay away from them. They're gonna make excuses. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I want to keep my little thing that I can, have, and I can yell at her whenever I want." But she's, you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. These people are awful. The bar is truly under the ground, and apparently people are still tripping over it. I don't get it. And then the top comment says, "Not overreacting. At first, they don't hit you, they just do things to scare you, but eventually he will put hands on you. Speaking from experience, leave him." Unfortunately, that's true. It's really sad, but people who speak like that and act like that, drive aggressively, threaten to throw a plate, they're just a violent person, and eventually they're gonna get comfortable and they'll take it out on you. And then the OP replied, "Yeah, I was excusing behavior because of his work stress. Never an excuse. But it's getting concerning for me. First, him using my vulnerabilities against me after being super sweet, and now this. I don't understand how someone changes their behavior." And then they replied, "You have to think of it as them slowly dropping the mask. He's showing you who he really is." Yeah, so if anyone's watching and they're in similar situation, do what you can to make sure you're safe, get out of that situation, because it's not going to get better. They're going to apologize. They're going to try to manipulate, but it's not going to get better. Our next story is from LJG3083. Am I overreacting, leaving my partner over strip clubs? All right, just reading the title, I'm going to say probably not. And then they prefaced this with a few trigger warnings. We've got addiction, cancer, cheating, and financial struggles. So skip this one if you don't want to hear anything about that. And here we go. Myself, 42 female, and my partner, 46 male, have been together for 17 years, and we have 2 kids together who are both teenagers. I want to preface this with the fact that my partner has struggled with opioid addiction in the past and has been in and out of jail and treatment centers, but has been sober for about 8 to 9 years. Recently, he relapsed, so I have been in high alert. Yesterday morning, after him being missing for an entire day, which is very abnormal, I drove to his work to see if he was there. He works graveyard shift, and there have been times where he's fallen asleep in his car in random parking lots from what he tells me is exhaustion, which makes sense because he works 6 nights a week, 10 to 12 hours a night. He has no AC, and we are currently experiencing a very bad heat wave and air quality issues from wildfires, so I was worried about him. I, for 3 years, only had a car with no AC, and oh my gosh, those were some rough summers. I finally bought a new car, and it has AC. It's so wonderful. Anyway, back to the story. Well, he was not at work. I am the primary account holder on our cell phone account, so I logged in to see when the last time was that he made a call, so I knew if he was at least alive. I noticed he was calling and texting a few numbers I didn't recognize, so I called them and a girl answered. Oh no. I hung up and had my sister call her back because I was very upset. She called back and asked if she had seen Jack and the girl in the phone because she didn't know a Jack, but was very obviously lying and said that maybe her boyfriend Rob did and that she would ask him and let her know. There were several calls to this number and they totaled to be about 3 hours worth of call time within a 3.5-hour time frame. Okay, I got a little confused there, but yeah, the writing's a little bit messy. I'm doing my best to kind of live translate, but what it seems like is this person's husband is calling a girl while he's at work and not talking to his wife. Wife hasn't heard. She doesn't know if he's dead or alive. Oh, he's got all the time in the world to talk to this random girl. That's what I'm gathering so far. So let's continue. After looking up the number, hoping it was just his boss, I noticed an address attached to it, and it was very close by, so I drove past the address to see if his car was there. No car. Then I drove to his best friend's house, who he goes to see randomly sometimes, and he wasn't there either. Knowing he doesn't really have many other places to go, I go into panic mode, calling people to see if they've seen him, because the last time this did happen, he had run off the road and crashed into a house. I looked for arrest records, called hospitals, and about that time, he rolled in the driveway. He was perfectly fine, said he had fallen asleep at a restaurant near his work in his car and just slept because he hadn't gotten much sleep in the last 72 hours, which is true. We were laughing and joking about the whole thing, and it's late afternoon at this time, so he has to get ready for work. Oh my gosh, he just got home. By the time he's ready to leave for work, he's so incredibly high he can't even walk or stand up. Very indicative of an opioid high. He sat on the couch and was passed out. His phone was face up on his lap, and he was sitting next to me on the couch, so I saw a text came in with the name of the girl I talked to before, and a text message informing him that his sister-in-law called looking for him, and she covered for him. Oh my gosh, what a mess. So I pick up his phone and go through it. He hasn't paid rent this month, and the rental company emailed me that they're going to evict us, so I looked at his bank account to see if he had the money to pay the rent, and he was sitting at negative $250, so no, we're not making rent. I looked through the charges and noticed hundreds of dollars being spent in a couple of locations and found out that they are strip clubs, and a couple hundred to OnlyFans girls, and chatbots. Oh my gosh, this guy is a mess. Mind you, we have discussed our boundaries and what we consider cheating in a relationship, because we have both been cheated on, and my ex cheated on me with a stripper he met at a club, so I said that was a deal breaker for me, and he agreed early on in our relationship. All right, we just jump in right to the next section, so I'm gonna read between the lines a little bit. So anyway, she mentions the strip club to the husband, and he says, "I'm not there for the girls. They just have really good cheap burgers. Like I'm a moron." Oh my gosh. He's been giving out his phone number, spending money, going all out on fancy meals, all while our children have gone hungry. Lights have been shut off, gas, cell phones. I am physically disabled and can't work, but haven't had my SSI go through yet, so I have no income to supplement. We have borrowed money from both sets of parents, and his mother has spent thousands of dollars covering our rent and bills because he's told her that he just is not making enough, all while she is battling breast cancer and money troubles herself because of medical bills. This has just gone from a terrible situation to just a tragic situation, and he's doing strippers like that. Goodness. I am furious for that reason. I don't blame you. Feels like you're underreacting, honestly. How dare he use his mom like that just so he can live a gangster wannabe life? I don't have access to any of his bank info up until now, so I just go off what he said. And he's told me the same thing the whole time, all while he's been out spending money at the strip club, on girls, and on drugs. Imagine that. How cliche, right? It does kind of feel like a TV show like example of like worst husband. I have made the decision to leave. Very good. But I just want to know if I am overreacting like he says, or if I am justified in leaving this relationship behind. You're underreacting. And of course, the top comment, not overreacting. I think you're severely underreacting. If anything, exactly what I said. Yeah, every single comment here is just, you're underreacting, get out. Our next story is from Accomplished Cat 5721. Am I overreacting? Found this on my fiance's phone after a night of drinking. And we've got a screenshot here, or A photo of a very broken phone screen. So there's that. On LinkedIn. Okay. Probably a LinkedIn DM or something. Hi, I just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful. I miss you more than life itself. I still can't believe everything that we've been through. It's crazy that you're still the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen. I took you for granted, and it haunts me every day to this day. All right, sounds like bro pulled up his ex on LinkedIn of all things. Shooting a DM that way, I'm guessing she's probably blocked this guy on everything else, and he was like, LinkedIn's where I'll be able to find her. She probably hasn't blocked me on LinkedIn, right? All right, let's read their story now. For starters, we have been together for 5 years. We got engaged in October of 25 and have a 2-year-old daughter. Oh my gosh. I grabbed his phone to send myself some photos from our trip, per his request. He was asleep on the couch. Well, I go to swipe up out of the Photos tab and see the LinkedIn tab open. His ex's name was there, front and center. Clocked it. I woke him up, threw the phone in his face, and left with our daughter for the day. He claimed it was due to me not showing enough love and didn't show that I liked him. He constantly denied my request for intimacy and affection. I called off the engagement and tried to run him out of the house. The month prior, he got blackout and left his phone open up with some naughty material in the living room where our daughter could see it. Oh my gosh. It is obvious that drinking is part of the problem. He never left the house and has officially claimed I've dragged it out too long. I don't know what he means by that. I don't think it matters that he never touched her. It's his ex. It's clear he's unhappy in this relationship, but is too much of a coward to admit it, and he's too hung up on his ex. Oh my gosh. You've got yourself a daughter. You've got yourself a fiance, and you're just over here, just hung up on your ex, who most likely does not want you, because I'm guessing they blocked you on everything else, which is why you have to text them on LinkedIn, and they're probably going to leave you on red, or it's LinkedIn. They're never going to check that DM anyway. Oh, and then we get a little more context from the OP. This woman, the ex, is married and has been since 2017. In 2018 through 2019-ish, she left her man for this man. Obviously, didn't work out, and she went back to her man. Oh, okay, so it's just a whole mess over there. And instead of a nice fiance, daughter, like you've got a family, you're going to get married, you got stability. No, you want to get back with your ex who flip-flopping, Oh my gosh, ridiculous. Me and Reddit on the same page. I just looked at the top comments. Reaching out to an ex through LinkedIn is wild. And then the reply to that, because she blocked him everywhere else. Whoa, great minds think alike. All right, and that's about all the time I have for stories today. I'm getting very hot in this room because I have to turn the air conditioner off in order to record these and get good audio for you. So I'm boiling. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all those things if you so choose. And I will see you in the next video.